Good morning. On my last video, I'd mentioned how I thought maybe, well, I said humans, but people in general can be selfish, not considering the consequences of exploiting resources for our own benefit. I'm thinking mostly in the developed countries. And when we're not considering the consequences, I think a lot of times we're hoping that science can keep up with consequences to make things easier as we progress. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like it's doing that well. And I heard something that was interesting the other day where Elon Musk said that we would have to have twice the population to travel in space. I thought that was a little bit odd considering that, well, in the fact that we had enough resources to support that many people. Well, I was a little disappointed in someone that intelligent saying something like that. We're not ready I mean, we're ready to probe space and to explore somewhat, but we're not ready to go out and conquer other worlds. I shouldn't even use the word conquer, I should just say explore other worlds. Um, so I think he has that wrong. Unless they, like I mentioned in one of my other videos, they come up with some sort of technology to protect um, the space travelers from the cosmic radiation, or they have some food that can also protect them from the radiation. But otherwise, I think it's going to take hundreds of years before we can actually do any real serious traveling. Again, I'm not an expert there, so I could be wrong. So anyways, can science keep up with the consequences? We're not doing a real good job of it now, as I see it. And so I'd also mention something about when you get to that point where you can keep your cool under certain pressures or stresses. And when you come to that point and you realize a lot of the silly things that people are doing in the world, when you keep your cool, you don't get angry at the people who are trying to, I guess, manipulate or control things in an excessive way. But being fair doesn't always mean being nice. And I've mentioned this before. There are consequences for the things that I see some of these world leaders or even the people who control world leaders doing. And that's why I'm hoping people will be patient and try to develop in their local area. Be familiar with your local farmers, be familiar with your local artisans or skilled type workers who might have a little business on the side that might benefit you. And I mention this because I have a friend, well, he was a high school, we graduated from high school together, and for many years he did, well, he's done restoration work on automobiles, so he's a kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to mechanical things and repairing things. And the other day he was showing me how to weld, and I've never welded before. I wanted to for many years to learn, but he showed me the MIG welding, and it's a lot. It's a little more. It's a lot. I'd say it's difficult, more difficult than what it looks like. Some of the guys make it look on YouTube. But again, it's something, as he mentioned, it takes time and experience to get the feel for it. And so it's good to know people like that. And so I would guess on my point in a way is develop your local communities and your local friends, your relationships with your local friends first. Um, if you're the sort that likes to get out and about and can communicate with other people outside of your area, that's a good thing too, as long as you can keep your focus. Keep your focus on yourself and on the forces around you that may try to control you. Like I said before also, you don't have to win an argument to actually win the argument at that moment. All you need to do is keep cool. If you truly believe or you know that something in your heart or in your soul that something is correct, but you can't get that point across to someone at the moment. Don't be discouraged. If you can plant the seed and then see how things develop over time. Now, it's funny. The reason, well, I say this because in the past I've said many things to many people, and I've tried to kind of be subtle about it. And I don't always see the results right away, whether it's diet or, well, I guess mostly in my case, I try to promote a healthy type lifestyle with my friends. And I don't try to, sometimes I used to get a little bit carried away because I knew I was right about something, but I could see that I was losing their attention. So I had to back off. So nowadays, I just kind of say something. Unless, a lot of times, though, I'm being asked questions that I hadn't been asked before. An example is the other day, I'm in the Lions Club in my local community, and I gave a talk on, well, same talk I had given to uh, the, well, I guess to say the people who are viewing here on the ACE inhibitor. Well, actually, it was about my blood pressure experiences, my two blood pressure experiences, and what I did to correct them. And then, of course, I put in the thing about the ACE inhibitors and the ARBs, which are those blood pressure medicines I've mentioned that can affect the kidney in the past. And so after that, I got questions. And so it was interesting because one of the people there in the audience had actually had experience similar that I did with the dehydration and the high blood pressure, and then bringing her blood pressure down within a couple days, just with water and well, I don't know if she had the salt, but I know she had to go to the hydration to build her fluid back up. So I was able to connect with one person, and when you can connect with somebody, it makes the other ones kind of listen. So in that sense, I'm encouraged that there um, that people will listen in time. It's just a slow process, and that's where the patience and keeping your cool comes in, as far as I'm concerned. Um, I guess I'm a little concerned too. I'm going back to Mr. Musk on his supposed comment. This was just, I didn't hear him directly say it. It was just someone had commented that he had said it. Because when you see the population growing as it is, jobs decreasing as they are, I can see if they were out in space now and they had to develop these technologies out in space, or they were sending populations to other worlds and stuff like that. But which almost makes me think he didn't really say it, or what he said was taken out of context, because he just seems to be too intelligent of a person to have said something like that. We just looking at the I guess you could say the government assistance programs, and how a lot of the government assistance programs in other countries are developed, in the developed countries anyways, are expanding, that I just can't see how he could come to that conclusion. But then again, in the bigger picture, there might be something that I'm not seeing. So that's about all I really wanted to say. Being fair doesn't necessarily being nice. The folks who have created this situation where they've expanded too fast and taken advantage of resources, well, of course we have too by benefiting, but a lot of times we didn't really see it until we won't be seeing it. The majority won't be seeing it until it's too late, and then they'll be clamoring for the government to do something for them. I'm hoping that you folks aren't one of those people, but you know, you do the best you can in the situation that you're in, and try to grow out of it if it's not the best for you at the moment. So, anyways, I hope that's about all I really wanted to say, and I probably said this twice already. Um, I'm just hoping that you folks will take the steps necessary to protect yourself, and I don't know, proceed in the fashion that's best for you, best for your community, and be well. So, anyways, have a good rest of the day, and bye for now.